What is going on, everybody? It is the Here and There podcast. My name is Braxton Burlett, the host, and I'm excited to bring you another episode today. Today is going to be a good one. I'm talking to an up-and-coming music producer who's been grinding for years and has a well-established catalog of music on YouTube. From the Philadelphia area, we've got J Patterns. If you guys like the video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos, man. Hope y'all enjoy it, and I thank you for tuning in. Peace. Glad I get you on, man. Sorry about the time mishap. I was tripping, man. I thought today was Friday, man. Too excited to get this episode filmed, bro. So
all good,
man. I'm not gonna take up too much of your time, but man, let's get straight into it. So just tell me about yourself, man. Kind of what got you into music? What got you into producing? You know, where did that love for music come from? Just the background.
I mean, start from the beginning. My dad was always in music, playing guitar and various instruments when I was growing up. So I think that probably where it stemmed from, you know what I mean? And then somewhere along the line, I got into like hip hop and R&B and stuff like that, and people like Drake, Kanye, and it just was inspiring. At first, I started as like a writer, but then I found that I was more interested in like, the beat element of music. So it was like 2015, 2016, I started looking into how to make beats and kind of just got a beat machine for Christmas, and it came with Ableton. And just from there, I just taught myself how to make beats, and the rest is history.
When was that? Like, how long ago was that?
Yes, that had to been Christmas 2016, and I started in like January. Oh no, Christmas 2015. I started like late January 2016. I think I uploaded my first video.
So you got anybody in your family that also like creates music, makes beats, or any type of music?
Yeah, my cousin used to make beats when he was younger too. So
that's pretty sweet, bro.
That's like the only one. And then I have another cousin who's a singer. So
you've been uploading on YouTube beats on YouTube for almost 10 years now, almost a decade. Going strong, bro.
8 years and like 6 months.
It's crazy because like I the first time I heard one of your, I don't know how one of your beats popped up on my YouTube feed, but it was some Drake beat from like 2017. It was the first one I ever listened to by you, bro. And I was like, ooh, like this is raw. Like, cause I used to just kind of like write songs and I guess rap a little bit in my free time, just because when I was bored in college, and like, so I would just find beats on YouTube, and when yours popped up and I just wrote to it, and ever since then, like, you probably didn't even know this, I've been subbed you on YouTube for like 8 years, something like that, under my podcast channel, but I changed the name, and like, I've been listening to stuff, like, and you got so much stuff, like my like videos, has like a bunch of your stuff, so that's why I had to get you on here, bro, and talk about your creative process, because like you're definitely like one of those producers that has been in it for a long time, and is very skilled. So are you working with any artists? Like, are you, placements, kind of like, tell me about that.
Yeah, the biggest artist that I've probably worked with is Stalley. A lot of people probably know him from MMG back in the day.
Yeah, okay.
With Rick Ross and them. Yeah, so that's like the biggest artist I've worked with, and I'm still like, he's probably one of my best friends now. We play 2K together, Call of Duty, stuff like that. We still talk, and I'll send him beats here and there, and we'll work on music and anything he needs, really. And yeah, otherwise I just work with anybody who wants to work. Just send me an email, hey, I need this beat, or I want to do a project, and I'll work with them. It's been a lot of fun. I met a lot of great artists along the journey. Like 8 years is kind of crazy, but I just didn't really hit me that I'm like about to dawn on like a decade of making music. Like I started when I was literally 18. So like right before I started college, I was like, man, I need a plan B, and just started making music. So
you're making money off it now.
It's kind of crazy. A lot of people,
you've been making some bread off of it. You sell your beats on BeatStars or anywhere else, or you just kind of?
I used to. Now I'm kind of been taking a little break from it. Just kind of trying to focus on other stuff, but yeah, I made a decent amount of money, I guess you could say, over the years. Cool, I think my peak was like 2019.
For real?
It was probably like my best year, honestly. Yeah.
Shoot.
That was good times.
So you said, are you in the studio a lot, or you kind of just produce from home? Like you got your own home studio? Or?
I used to go to like studios and stuff, but now I just kind of produce from home when I have free time.
What area are you?
Open a laptop.
Where are you located?
I'm in Pennsylvania, right outside Philly.
So you got a bunch of opportunity to go hit the studio and
Yeah.
Definitely some rappers that pop through around there. I'm sure all the time that you could record with. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool, bro. Um, yeah, man. So like, so you've been in the game for let's see, 9 years now, man. YouTube. Um, so where are you trying to go from here? Like, what are your next goals as a producer, man? Just kind of like, yeah, man, short term, long term goals that you have.
Yeah, I do a lot of Drake beats and stuff like that. I guess the number one biggest dream would be like to produce for OVO, whether it's for Drake or for Party or for any of those guys, that's like always been the big dream. I mean, it's way out there. I try to DM OVO affiliates all the time and try to get my beats in there here and there. But yeah, that's like the long term goal. But otherwise, man, it's been fun. I really don't do it for the money anymore.
Yeah,
I kind of just do it for the love of music and just if I ever feel in a mood or something, just make a beat real quick. Or it's kind of just now it's kind of turned into like my stress
yeah.
reliever. You know what I
Do
mean?
you
So
experience?
yeah.
I mean, do you experiment with making other genres at all, or is it just kind of mostly hip hop that you make?
Yeah, I've tried like pop here and there, and I've been kind of diving into like indie stuff or like folk music kind
Oh,
of
for
deal.
real?
They're kind of fun to like, yeah, like the samples they do with the little banjos or the vocals they have is a lot of fun. I'm trying to find this new music branch out of like, I think that's like the best way to stay inspired is just listen to all kinds of
Yeah.
music, stuff that you never even thought about listening to before. Even like country or something like this. If you
You
just
listen to
find little
country,
gems
bro?
here and there, to
I mean,
find
shoot, you can get a lot of
just
inspiration from that, for real.
yeah, there's different like sonically stuff that sounds a lot different, like there's a lot of original music out there. There's a lot of underrated artists that you can find. I always like tap into, new albums that come out from like people that aren't as huge. Like maybe they got like 10K listeners and I just listen to their music and I'll tune into like streams and see what people are listening to. And you just find a lot of great music, man. So it's a way easy way to feel inspired or even listen to other producers, stuff they're coming up with, newer artists. There's like a new underground sound now with like Yeet and those guys. So that kind of dark, like I don't know what you call it, psychedelic rap, But yeah, there's so many ways to feel inspired. I just kind of tap into everywhere I can go.
So do you have like plans to release any of those pop folk type beats on the channel or what?
Yeah, I think I posted a couple of them
Okay.
here and there. It's funny. It starts out as pop, and then I kind of like
Yeah, you don't know
it
where it's
turns
gonna
into hip
take you,
hop,
bro.
or
You can go
yeah.
multiple directions in a
Because
beat.
I'll find you find like a exactly. You'll find like a little pocket or something. You're like, oh man, what if I just reverse this? And then now it sounds like a
Yeah.
trap beat, right? So you go from a folk guitar, you reverse it, and you find just different elements you can mess around with or chop up. And yeah,
Yeah, so I got people watching who are really trying to like cuz they get started, creating making beats, right? And they go through like the beat block obviously because whatever, they make a few
yeah,
beats and they don't think they sound as well as they'd like to. Um But like for those people, I want to ask this question to you. Like, just kind of walk me through like your creative process, man, from like the beginning of work on, be like what kind of, from where you start, where you're thinking as you're going through the process, like, yeah, from the beginning to the final mix, man. Kind of like explain that creative process that you usually go through.
yeah. Sometimes you can switch it up. Sometimes I'll start with drum. Like if I find a sample that I want to like chop, I'll start with the drums. I'll just find something there, and then I'll just chop away. Maybe that doesn't work out, so now you think that doesn't sound as good. Maybe start somewhere else. Start with a chord, some kind of melody. Don't be afraid to use loops for inspiration. You know what I mean? Like if you find like a beat, like I think Splice does loops. There's a couple other ones like that. If you want to just find inspiration there, as like a song starter for you, anything to get the brain work. I've had beat block a bunch of times, and maybe sometimes you just got to find inspiration outside of music. Like talk to people. What are they listening to? Go to some cafe or something, see what music's playing. You know what I mean? Just find different elements to keep yourself
So you still
inspired,
fight beat block to
and
this
then
day?
yeah, I think every artist you'll go through, something that kind of just,
Yeah.
holds your creativity. Whether you're a producer, songwriter, and artist like a drawer, a painter, you'll get that, where there's like just throw stuff out there, you never know what hits. I've gone through plenty of beats where I just scrap them halfway through or just don't find that it's sounding pleasant to the ears or if it would even work. Now, I probably have 1,000 files where like that were just unfinished,
For real?
just one little clip of a beat. Yeah. So it happens, I mean, it, you'll get through it. I mean, it can be like discouraging,
Yeah.
but you just got to keep going. Even if you need a
Yeah.
break. I used to have a thing where I wanted to make a beat every day, for the whole year, so 365 beats a year, and it got to the point I went like 3 years strong, and that was like I was saying like my peak from like 2017, 2020, and then eventually life gets in the way or other stuff gets in the way. You miss a day, and then now you got to play catch up, and I'll catch myself playing catch up, and then the sound kind of dips off or I'm rushing stuff. So just take your time, really. I mean, there's no rush. Whether it takes you a day to make a beat, 3 days, 7 days, a month to perfect it, whatever it takes, just keep
Yeah.
going.
That's what I feel like a lot of young producers that are up and coming have is they just, like I said, they create and they have maybe a couple beats that they are trying to add way too many sounds to it. Now it just sounds way too congested, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Or now they're just,
yeah.
you know, they're trying to create something that sounds different,
Mhm.
but everything that they're creating in their mind feels like it sounds exactly
Yeah,
like something they've already heard. So they just stop
right.
because they're like, "Man,"
And that's
yeah,
yeah, and yeah, that's another thing. Like hip hop is kind of getting people are saying it's getting stale. A lot of the drum patterns are the same, or the bass lines are the same, or the sound. Everybody's just copying each other. I don't know. That's why I got go back on listening to a bunch of music, because you'll find different sounds and different things to use, and that's just how I think makes for better music. I think rather than, or even if you want to go like pick one of your favorite songs ever and just download the beat and just put the beat in your software and kind of just see where they put hats or where they put the snare or why they or things like that. And then also you want to when you're making beats, you want to leave room for the artist. I find it sometimes I'll try to add like too many sounds, like you said. But sometimes, let the artist make the extra sounds if they want to do background vocals or harmonize in the back. You know what I mean? So
So you said you
don't
write too,
just
right? You write songs or
I
yeah,
used to, yeah. I mean, I'll do it here and there if I want to
yeah.
just like write through thoughts or
You never thought
something,
about being the
like,
next
but
Kanye, greatest producer, chopping up beats out here writing hit songs too.
I tried it.
Yeah,
I tried it. I don't know. I don't think I had the voice for it. You know what I mean? I feel like I sound too
yeah.
monotone. You know what I mean? I mean, now I could probably use that. Back then, I wasn't thinking about doing no auto tune or stuff like that. Like now, artists sound completely different than what they,
Oh yeah,
what they lay on. The mixing and stuff is out of this world. What they can do to your voice and stuff like
it's
that. So
crazy.
who knows?
Somebody who sounds like complete ass can now sound crazy, like for real. I think that,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
if you hear like raw vocals for Playboy
yeah,
Cardi and
bro,
stuff,
and like Travis
and then
Scott's
what that
Travis
turns
Scott
into.
vocals, right? This is crazy.
Exactly.
Mike Dean's a legend for that, bro. He's a legend for the stuff he's done.
Exactly.
Um, no, yeah, that's legit, bro. So do you have like so you have like friends or kind of like, I mean, like how do you stay motivated, bro, to keep going every day? Like even if you're not where you want to be yet.
Yeah, I mean, you just keep the dream in your head,
Yeah.
I mean, there's people, I think a lot of people, especially younger guys, and I was guilty of this too when I was like 19, 20, thinking like, oh, I gotta make it in my 20s, right? Like you gotta make it when you're young. Or, people think when you hit 30, 35, 40, then it's over for you. You know what I mean? But who knows? You could be 45 and somebody, and Kanye or somebody could find your beat and
For
then
real.
that's it, Like you just have to, don't be afraid of time, Like I told myself when I was 17 I was gonna be like some big artist by the time I was 25, and now I'm 27. That didn't happen, right? So you just gotta just don't let that be in your head, just kind of keep going. It could always be your
That is
day.
so weird, man, how
So
you say that because yeah, I feel like as soon as like you just said artists hit like 20 or like 25 or something like that, they think that like their time, their opportunity is over with.
it's up, yeah,
Like I don't know why
but it's
people
never
think
over.
that way, you
That's the
know?
thing.
It's just weird. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's just how society is kind of built us to think like, when you're 35-year-old or something,
Yeah,
So
bro.
like with athletes, when you hit 30, it's like, oh, his career is over, So I don't know.
Yeah.
But you just kind of block that out, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, what was I think Killer Mike was like, I think he's
I
40
was just
something. He
trying
just
to
won
think
his first
of
Grammy
rappers that
last.
have blew up at an old age. I can't even, I'm like drawing a blank. I
Yeah.
can't really think of anybody right now, but yeah, like you got to keep the dream alive, bro. No matter how long it takes, it's going
Yeah.
to
I mean,
eventually happen, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of like even I think every artist in there like 40s right now. Not all of them made it in their 20s, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like only some people get lucky. If you make it right when you're 18, I mean that's pretty fire. But you know, maybe there's plenty of artists like I think Nav was like 30 when he finally blew up and stuff like that. So people
I
like
mean, you
that.
gotta know people
So
too,
you
right?
never
You
know.
gotta know the people and be
Yeah.
put in the right
Yeah.
situations, go to the studio and just happen to get lucky too. That's another part too, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you never know, or you run into people, right? You run into like a random artist, you know, it doesn't hurt. Always network, like try to, you know, tell them your name and where to find you. You never know. They might look you up or somebody might, they might know someone that knows you. You never know, man. Like it's always just word to mouth,
So are
honestly.
you I mean, do you have any like are there a bunch of Philly rappers that are kinda like in your area that I mean, that you've been thinking about working with or kinda like sending beats to, like are you working with anybody that lives close to like, underground artists that are still trying to blow up, like anybody you're working with in that area?
Yeah, I mean, not really by Philly. Um, Honestly, I haven't really worked with too many people this past year. I've kind of been low key on the beat side. I took a little break. Probably this is like the last 2024 was probably the least amount of beats I probably made in a year. So, but now I'm getting back into it heavy. So, but I'll probably tap in more, see who's blowing up and stuff. But yeah, I just have like a select guys I kind of work with now that hit me up here and there. There's this one guy out of Toronto that's been working with me for a while now. He's kind of on the rise a little bit. And then just a couple other guys that I just send beats out to. And then of course Stalley, I'll say if he wants to send any beats out to like anybody. He's probably close to Trippy Red. It's actually one of his friends. So I was trying to send some beats out to him, but yeah, I mean,
Is he located close to
if
you
you
or
have
where
anybody that
where's
wants to
he?
work,
I don't know too much about.
he's yeah, he's based in Georgia right
Okay.
now. Yeah. Georgia slash like New York. He'll go back
And
and
he's from
forth.
you said
Yeah.
MMG? He's an MMG, is that what you said?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, he's not anymore. He's independent
Okay.
now, but like back in like 2011, 12, like that era, which I feel like
That's
is like the one of the best eras of, yeah.
so who are you kind of like listening to, man, mostly that you're catching a lot of inspiration from when you're creating these?
Yeah, I mean, see right now, I can just look at like my past played artists. I've been listening to Autumn a lot. I don't know if you heard of him.
Who was it?
Um,
You're putting me on.
Autumn. He's like he sounds like Yeet a little bit, but I don't know. I like the way he kind of it's his music's a little different. I
How do you
like his
spell his name,
vocals. He
bro?
kind of does the whole. Yeah, so it's I mean
Uh-huh.
AUTUMN
Okay, word.
and then exclamation point for some reason.
Okay.
But yeah.
So he's definitely underground, like he's kind of
Yeah, I mean he kind of blew up. You know, I was gonna say TikTok is like another way to find
oh
artists too,
yeah.
man. Like that's where I first heard one of his it was somebody made a video like and that's saying like with Yeet, I think Yeet kind of benefited from TikTok as well. You know, with the whole ring a bell sound. I don't know if you remember that, but like that
Oh
kind of
yeah,
went
yeah.
viral and then he kind of blew up after that.
Sure,
And
what we about to do if
so yeah,
TikTok
you'll
gets
find a
banned,
lot. I
bro?
mean,
If TikTok gets banned, what we about to do?
yeah, I know.
We're gonna-
I had to find another
yeah.
app to find people. That's another app where I found like a bunch of even like sounds. Like I find songs from people, and I'll just be like, man, like this. Who is this guy or who is this girl, right? And then you just kind of dive deep, and then you find just a bunch of songs. But yeah, I mean, I listen to him a lot. Otherwise, I still listen to Drake here and there. Sampha's like a big one. I listen to a lot of Sampha. And then Tory Lane's another one. Montel Fish
Yeah.
is a cool, he's another underground. He was pretty underground before. He kind of blew up. I just found him on YouTube randomly. And then next thing you know, his one of his sounds like blew up on TikTok. And I was like, oh, look at
Oh,
that.
for
See?
real? No, Simp
Yeah.
is legit, man.
So
He is so creative. Like his last album, Lahai, that is like one of my favorite albums that came out this past
yeah,
year, bro.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah. It's dope.
Got that vinyl and everything.
Oh, nice. You a vinyl collector?
I
You got a lot
mean,
of
not a lot, but like that's kind of my goal is to, have a whole wall filled in my house, here somewhat soon.
I got like 9 or 10, like my favorite albums. So that's how I use it. That's how you kind of started out, right? You just get like your
Right.
favorite grill. When I was in school, it was like a record store down the street, and I'd walk in there and I would see like, oh my God, he has this. What the heck? So I would just buy them, and they're like $30 a pop, which is why I don't really buy
They're
them
kind of
anymore. But
expensive for real.
now a lot of yeah, but now a lot of people are like buying. they do like the bundles,
Yeah,
right? So you get the vinyl and then you get like the hoodie.
that's right.
So,
Yeah.
but
What albums you got on vinyl right now? Like some of your favorite albums?
yeah, so I got off top. I know I have Graduation by Kanye. I have Late Registration. I have Nipsey Hussle. I can't remember which album. It might be
Guys
Victory
from
Lap,
Philly
or it
listen to
might
Nip.
be
All right. Tapped into the West Coast, man. Tapped into the West Coast.
that's about as far as like the only West
Oh,
Coast
for
rapper I
real?
really ever
Oh
like
man.
actually like for real, yeah.
He's a legend,
Like
bro.
like that as far as how that sound goes, like that for sure. Outside of like Tupac and those guys, but yeah, Nipsey is one of my favorites, man. I'm still devastated to this day
Bro,
that he's
what
gone, but
one of my favorites,
yeah,
bro. And after, oh man, he had so many classics, bro.
yeah, man. Then I think I have Views, I have Take Care, I have Nothing Was the Same. And then I think I have one of the Weeknd's albums. I don't think it's Trilogy. I think it might be Starboy. I don't know. I have to go dig them out the box, but yeah, those are like the big ones I have.
So where do you think hip hop's
Yeah.
going? Like right where it's at right now, kind of like where do you think it's heading in terms of the sound, just everything?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, as far as like the new artists that are coming, like I don't know. It's you still have your big dogs, right? You got Drake, Kendrick, Cole, those guys. Kanye still drops here and there. And then you have the newer dudes that are coming in. And you have like the kind of meme rap, like the female rappers are kind of getting a lot of steam now. And yeah, I mean the sound it it's getting like I said earlier, people think it's getting kind of stale. Um I don't know. I mean, I think honestly kind of we'll see what happens if like Playboy Cardi drops and it's just some kind of crazy, I don't
Is that
different
supposed to be
sounding
this year? When
album.
is that supposed to be, bro?
It's up to him, man. Nobody's heard from him in like a year, so don't know. But
I'm,
I guess I can call myself a Cardi fan. At first, I didn't like it, but then I think over time, I just kind of understood it
I
after a
can't lie. In
while.
2017,
What was it?
2018, he was on a
Yeah, him and
diabolical. You know,
Uzi
he
and
was
those.
on a
Yeah,
crazy run
yeah,
for sure. And then Whole Lotta Red
yeah,
was different for sure. That whole
yeah. That's what I'm
that
saying. Like,
distorted
who
sound
knows? Like
too.
this, if
Yeah,
yeah, and if it's different again, all it takes. It's all about what the younger crowd's listening to,
yeah.
right? It doesn't matter what anybody over like 30 cares about hip hop, but whatever the kids are into. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, they're still waiting for like a new top group, like the big three, a new big three, right? So who knows? I mean, the sound is just everybody has their own pocket, I guess, is like the best way to
Yeah.
describe it.
So
So,
are you a Uzi
but
fan?
that whole like,
Since Uzi obviously coming from Philly.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I like Uzi. Yeah, I mean, a lot of his last album got a lot of hate, I think. But I enjoyed it. I mean, I rock with Uzi. I still kind of rock with Meek here and there, even though he be tweeting weird stuff. But people, he's kind of turned into a meme nowadays. But
Mid
I mean, it
2010s
is what
Meek
it
was an
is.
absolute legend, man.
Yeah, man, I mean, that whole era
Yeah.
from like 2009 to like 2017 was like one of the best eras for hip hop, I think, man. There was just so much like great music. Like some of my favorite albums are from that era. Just yeah,
So who are
that was
some of your
like peak
dream
life.
artists, man? I know you said Drake. Dream artists that you could, if you could choose anybody to work with right now, who would it be?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Drake, Kanye, I think The Weeknd would be really cool. I mean, that was like when I think about what albums like really got me into music would be like that Take Care, Dark Sound, like the trilogy, House of Balloons, like that sound is what really kind of just got me into wanting to make beats, you know what I mean? So other people, I mean, some singers would be dope. Um, like right now. Hmm.
Yeah, that Take Care era, 2011. Like, I feel like everybody, because like for me, how I think about it is like I knew exactly where I was in life, like when Take Care dropped, and what I was
No, right?
listening to.
Yeah.
Like my dad was literally playing that on CD, driving me like to school,
Nice.
like in the morning. Like I just remember growing up, like just being like, dang, like this is so good. Like this is one of the, yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's aged so amazingly, obviously over time. Like that, like Forest Hills Drive, and like Some of these,
Yeah, yeah,
that's why they're legends, bro.
for sure. Yeah, and I don't know how people are like taking it for granted, man. Like you never it's hard to like people say they miss the old Drake or old
Yeah.
Kanye, but I don't know, maybe you just miss where you were in that time, you know? Like you said, you remember exactly I remember exactly where I was when Nothing Was the Same came out. Like woke up early that morning, listened to it on the way to school. Like
For real? Is that
it was locked. Yeah, I was locked
is
in.
so is Nothing Was the Same, is that your favorite Drake album, or is it Take Care?
Ah, man. I think for me, like as far as where life was at, Nothing Was the Same probably was the one for me. Yeah. I'd probably rank them Nothing Was the Same and then Take Care and then Views would be like top three.
Views too was a very like
Yeah.
experimentory time. Like 40 was really,
Yeah, people hated it,
yeah.
man, when it
When it,
first came out. I don't know if you remember
oh
that, but
yeah,
like it was not well
it was
received.
not.
And now I call it like he said, he was like, now it's a classic. Even I'll first listen, I remember being like, oh man, like that's not what I expected coming off the Meek beef and all that. And then off of If You're Reading This was like, yeah, I remember being kind of disappointed. But then as life went on, you kind of you go through experiences, and then you're like, man, like now I kind of resonate with that album more, or maybe something happened and now you relate to a certain song or the sound. I mean, that's why I always say don't judge music off of first listen. I think you really got to take your time. Like a lot of people, that's like the new trend now, right? An album drops and they don't even finish listening to it and they're calling it mid or trash. You know what I mean? So that's like the new wave now for people. But yeah, I always kind of give like an album like 2 or 3 weeks to kind of really digest to see if I don't like it. You know what I mean? But
Are you so you when you listen to an album for the first time, do you listen it from track one? You go in order, or do you just start to
yeah,
skim through?
yeah, I
All
go
right,
in
yeah,
order.
you're a real
Yeah,
music head. These people
I can't listen to
that
music on
yeah,
shuffle, man. I
bro.
don't know how people
What
do that.
I just
Even if I'm in a
yeah.
car, I gotta listen to track one to
Facts.
track
It doesn't
whatever.
matter
I
where I'm
can't do
at,
like
like, if I'm in the gym or, like, anywhere, in the car, anywhere, like, I'm listening to the full album in order. But, yeah, like, that's what I was thinking. This is back to kinda what earlier we were saying with, like, they hated Drake's Views 2016 album. So, like, I feel like Drake, honestly, he, like, completely, like, kind of knew that it was gonna age, like, fine wine to the point where, like, 10 years later, people are gonna look back at his music and be like, it sounds so much better
yeah, man.
today than like I remember it back when it first came out. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
his just mindset when it comes to it, man, just is next level.
Yeah, I really think it's just experiences, Like if you look back to any like they always say like everybody thinks 2016 was like the best year ever, I don't know. But
They say
you
that,
really just
bro.
got to
I'm
think
thinking
about what you
2018 was
went
really
through
the
in that
best year.
time. Yeah, that's probably second place for a lot of people too. Anything before 2020, I guess you could say like just peak life. But yeah, I think it's just experience. Like now, it's different now, right? Because you'll listen to an album now, and you're just in your house or you're just at your job or something. But maybe 10 years ago, you were outside on vacation with a girl that you loved or something. You both listen to the album, so that's why it's like your favorite.
He just took
You
it
have
to a
that
deep
core
level.
memory with it.
He just went deep.
Yeah, and it's really what it is though, man. Like you remember stuff like that. Like I remember where I was and I pressed play on a lot of albums or where I was when I made my first beat or my favorite beat. Like you just remember exactly where you are. Like I remember the beat I made and it was 9 p.m. or something like that. It's had
It
like
has like a million
it's like the
something like
piano
that, right?
one.
Dude.
Yeah, it's like 300K or something like that. I remember exactly where I was like in bed and then OVO 40, he like posted some video of him playing the piano and I just instantly got up and just sampled it. I was like, yeah, I gotta do this one right here. This is like, and then he actually deleted the video, so I'm glad I downloaded it.
For
But
real?
yeah, I just remember exactly where I was when I made that beat. Yeah, it's crazy. Like when you have those core memories with something, it just always makes it better. Like even if the album you hate, somebody loves, they probably have
Yeah,
a core memory with the album. Like it's all about where you're at in life,
yeah.
how you enjoy stuff.
So how
So
long how long from the time you started making beats, when did you finally realize after like creating for like that you were actually good at this? You know what I mean? That you're like, okay, like I'm not
yeah.
self-sabotage myself anymore. Like this stuff is actually fire.
Yeah, I mean, my first like 6 months, I never just showing it to my friends and they were like, "Yeah, this is cool, whatever." And as I kept learning music, learning like keys and how to do certain stuff, like how to do certain sounds and stuff like that. I think over time you get better and better. It's like just practicing, like putting up 1,000 shots a day in the gym or something, and you just kind of keep going and going. Like I'll be honest, like my first like probably 50 beats were just trash, it was just whatever, some random noises together,
For real.
and
I
then
would, bro.
yeah,
You ever like listen to
I never
those
had
like
a friend. He was like,
you ever like go back and listen to any like or like maybe you don't even have anymore, but like do you have any of those old like first
"Oh no."
nah.
I might on my old computer
Yeah.
maybe, but I know I deleted them off YouTube. They're not there anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I think the like moment for me, I was like, man, I should actually really pursue this. I was like, I think I got like 20K views on a random beat, and the comments were like, yo, this is fire, blah blah blah. And I was like, man. And as I just kind of build off that, and I was like, yeah, let's just keep going and going. Just use the Drake type beat kind of thing came on. I was like, I guess dude, that's what kept getting me views, and I was like, I guess I'll just be a Drake producer. So that's kind of where it came from. And then I had friends I would send beats to, and they'd be like, "Oh man, this is actually pretty fire." I'm not gonna lie, when you first started, it wasn't that good, but you're getting a lot better. I was like, "Yeah." I mean, I just sit in my room all day and make beats, so I hope so.
Have you ever thought
But
about going to any of those producer battles and testing?
yeah, I thought
Yeah.
about it. I don't know. I feel like I couldn't handle the embarrassment if nobody's rocking with it. Or I don't even know what the vibe would be, and you're like, oh man, you play it and nobody's bobbing their head, and you're just like, yeah, it's a
I heard that's
confidence
like one of
killer.
the better ways to get, kind of get your stuff out there. That and like apparently like DJing at bars or like stuff like
Yeah,
that. Like I've heard that kind of like a way to
yeah,
just fight that beat block or kind of get over that like feeling of, um, you know, not being able to
hmm
do this or something like that. So I don't know. I mean, shoot, I would definitely.
yeah. I mean,
It would be nerve wracking for sure. I feel like.
yeah. I think the best thing to do, I think now would be to just try to send loops to people. If you see someone like I would find an underground artist and look for their producer and then see if you're able to send them an email or DM and try to send them loops or ask if you can work with them. I think collabing is one of the biggest ways to get out there. There's this one guy on Instagram, Aurora Beats. He kind of sends me loops here and there, and we've been working together for a while. And I don't always use his stuff, but sometimes I will. And it's like, just getting your name together on something, and you never know. You might send them a loop, and then I know that Jello song, the Swerve song, that was actually a beat off
Oh
BeatStars.
no
So,
shot.
two random yeah, so two random producers, they're probably just sitting around one day, or I don't know if they had if they knew him or if he just browsed on the site and found it, you know what I mean? But you never
Yeah,
know, right? Like you really never know what could
dude.
pop off or what
I'm
can
not
go
against that
viral or
2005 vibe of music coming back. Like that beat. You know,
hey, yeah, it's different. I think that's why it's blowing up because it's not your
he
typical
just signed to
mumble
Def Jam
rap
too,
or
right? Man,
I think so, yeah, for like 8 million or
sheesh.
something. Like you don't need basketball anymore. He's good now. He just can do random songs here and there and get
And
some
he's
money.
performing
You're
at
good.
Rolling
Do a couple
Loud too.
shows.
Like
Yeah, like they're paying him to show up there or clubs and stuff like that. I mean, there you go. He's set now.
that's so crazy, man.
Like you never know, man. That's why I always tell people like never stop posting or whatever you're doing. If you're doing funny videos or anything, you never know when you can go viral when the algorithm picks you,
Yeah.
right? So like I didn't know when I uploaded a beat or whatever to get yeah, I remember the days of getting like 50 views or something. And you're just like, man, should I keep doing it? Like I'll just keep going every day, man. Like you never know
How
when
long were you feeling that feeling?
the algorithm.
Like when you were uploading your videos, like how long was that kind of like in your mind?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've always had like a big drive. I think, one of my inspirations has always been like Kobe Bryant. So I kind of always had that kind of Mamba mentality locked in my head where I don't like to give up on stuff. You know what I mean? Like if it's getting 0 views or 2 views or 1,000 views, you kind of just keep going. You don't really worry about that stuff. Yeah, you just kind of have to stay locked in. And then if you are getting kind of discouraged, I don't know. I always thought about someone else kind of like taking my spot as like a cool little like creating competition in my head kind of helped me a lot. Like, oh man, if I don't make this beat tonight, someone else out there is making five. You know what I mean? So you got to just keep going. And yeah, That's probably some good advice if you ever anybody ever needed that.
Now, there's a lot of producers that are gonna be watching this, man, that are definitely like
Dope,
that are
yeah.
gonna be definitely needing that advice. So that's that's perfect, bro. It's just it's so hard because like, you know, producers just don't know when or if they'll ever blow up, so they just stop. They just stop so soon in the process, and they'll just think that, you know, like the grass is never going to be greener on the other side. So
Yeah, I mean that yeah. I don't know. I understand where you come from with that because it is kind of it's hard, man. There's 8 billion people,
yeah.
and probably like a billion producers. So I know I seen some tweet that was like looking for producers on Twitter. It was like one of a Twitch streamer or something. And I just looked at the replies. There was like 500 replies and just like everybody posting their beats. And I'm like, man, like whoever he picks, whoever gets picked, Like imagine if you didn't see that tweet that day or you didn't send it in or if you second thought about it, you know what I mean? So just always just keep doing it, I mean, any platform. It sucks that TikTok's going away. I mean, it might come back, who knows, but some other new app will come along, right? And I would just be the first on there and just post your music or post whatever you're doing. And who knows, it might blow up,
What
man.
social media platform would you recommend young up and coming producers to upload all their beats like for the most exposure they could get?
Yeah, I would do YouTube, BeatStars, and then probably Instagram would be like the 3.
Mhm.
If TikTok stays, then I'd put TikTok in there. But yeah, I would do those 3 for sure. Yeah.
So when you were did you
And then in
yeah, go ahead.
BeatStars, I would focus on like collaborations too. That helps a
Okay.
lot. Because then you have like basically 2 names, double the chances or something like that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
So
yeah.
when you were growing up, like making music, were you do you play like any other instruments like piano, guitar? Like, do you play anything or just kind of?
Yeah, I grew up actually before I even did beats, I'd play the drums,
Okay.
Yeah. I played the drums for like 4 years. And then I kind of just got kind of bored of that. I don't know. It's probably just the genre of music, like doing rock music and stuff wasn't really getting me excited for it, you know what I mean? So then I just switched over to digital drums because I just thought, well, I listen to more hip hop stuff like that more than I do what you actually need a drum set for, unless you're doing like live performances. But most hip hop artists don't even do that anymore. But yeah, I just kind of switched over to digital drums and just kind of more passion there for it.
That's another thing too is producers aren't unwilling to invest in money on equipment, right? To make fun.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I tell everybody like, man, don't buy like cheap stuff, like little $10 stuff, right? Just invest, bro. Like you'll make the money back, unless you're like completely broke or something. But
Yeah.
the money will come back eventually. You know what I mean? Even if you have to like open a credit card or something to
Yeah.
even get better equipment, I would go for it because you can always make the money back, man. And I think it rewards because you might see like a beat machine's like $800 and you're like, oh man, I can't. Or the laptop you want a MacBook and it's like 1,800. I would just go for it, man. Like just chase it. If you kind of sit there, you just buy cheap stuff here and there, or like if you were like starting a podcast and you don't buy like a mic or a camera and stuff like that, just go for it, man. Splurge on it, and if you keep consistent, it'll repay itself. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
You
So
get in
I definitely recommend going big before you
yeah,
go
you get
home.
in what you put out for real. No, yeah, man. It's um gosh. It's just crazy. I feel like so many people nowadays, like there are a lot more I don't know, young people trying to become like saying that they want to produce or like they say they they want to be a music producer. There's a lot of young people, a lot more people today that say they want to do that than there was 15 like years ago or something like that. So I think it's
Yeah,
getting
for
harder, you know what
sure.
I'm saying, to really kind of like blow up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, like I have 3 nieces, and they're like they don't even want to be like any kind of career. All the kids want to be YouTubers and stuff like
And
that,
that is
So
crazy.
I want to be
Yeah,
Twitch
yeah, no, that's
streamers.
true too.
So
That is so true. Gosh. Just think
yeah, like if you just go on Twitch and you just look at any like Call of Duty, you just look at all the people that have like 2 viewers or 3 viewers, Like it's a lot of people. It's highly competitive. It's probably more competitive than the actual real job market if you think about it.
no,
So
it probably is now. Because they're just seeing all
for
these
sure.
successful like YouTube content creators and gamer like Twitch streamers, like you said, that are just doing so well,
Right.
and
Yeah.
they just think, yeah, it could be me, which it definitely could. You never know. Like, I'm not trying to
Yeah,
knock
definitely
anybody's
good.
dreams for sure. Like, everybody just keep grinding and pushing toward whatever you want to
Yeah,
do.
man.
But it's
Yeah.
just kind of crazy how things have changed, man. And you never know, like in 10 to 15 years from now, I talked about this on another interview I did, like where you like what's going to happen. I mean, where the I guess creative industry is going to be in terms of like music and gaming and
Yeah.
just YouTube. Kind of like you just don't know.
Yeah, because now we got AI treatment in, you know.
Oh yeah,
So who knows? Maybe you'll be able to tell AI to make you a beat, and it
dude,
might not need
no more
producers
producers anymore.
anymore.
That would be so heartbreaking, bro. Man, imagine you making a beat, man, and then all of a sudden this AI robot comes out and just makes something that's just so
Facts.
crazy, and now you got like all these rappers
Right.
using that beat. But you put your heart and soul into this, and this AI robot made this beat in like 10 minutes.
For
Nah, bro.
sure. That'd be
I
crazy.
hope it never gets to that point. God,
I mean, they're already stealing, got AI Drake songs, AI Cardi songs. So who knows, man? They might get
that's
rough
right,
out here.
bro. When Drake used to,
And people are falling for it. I see like an AI song on TikTok,
yeah,
and they'll be like, "When's this dropping?" They just call it a
yeah,
leak, and then people fall for it, you
like
know?
that
So
Tupac
I don't
AI
know.
voice that Drake used in the diss track. That
Exactly.
was
Yeah,
nuts
yeah,
hearing that for the first
exactly.
time.
And it sounds like it. I mean, y- if you show somebody that doesn't know what's like going on, you'd be like, "Yo, new Tupac song," they'll probably fall for it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like they'll be like, "Oh wow, yeah." This is like, yeah, just tell them it's 20 years old, and they'll be like, "For sure, I've heard this. Yeah, it sounds good." But then you tell them it's Drake, and they're probably like, "Oh, no
yeah.
way."
So who's
But
your top five, man, of all time?
all time, oh man,
Yeah, your favorite top producers
I'm
first. We'll go top producers.
producer. Okay, yeah. Okay. So I'll go one, probably Kanye for sure. Two, I'll go Jay Dilla.
Classic.
Three, who I think is actually a sleeper. I think he's doesn't get the credit he deserves. I would say Pierre Bourne, for sure. And
He's
then
up there for sure.
yeah. And then four, I'll probably go Boy Wonder. And then five, I'd probably go OVO
Wow.
40, but he's more of an engineer. So I'd probably go, I guess Metro probably at
Yeah.
five, yeah.
There's so many producers right now that are popping, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I know I'm leaving some, but like two or three out, I
Yeah.
probably I'd be like, oh man, I can't leave him out, you know what I mean? But
So are those
yeah,
producers
there's a
that you're
lot of
looking up to
goats.
right now? Like those who you look up to kind of like for inspiration when you create? Or
Yeah.
yeah.
I used to go on YouTube and like they used to do videos of like behind the beat or whatever. I think it was like Vibe or some platform, and they would go through and show how they made a certain
Yeah.
song. Whether it be, like, I would just watch it. I'd probably watch it like 4 or 5 times trying to like steal stuff from
Yeah.
them. Or I know when Drake did the 100 gigs thing,
Yeah.
and they had like the OVO 40 files, and you could just go in and see them working on music, man. Like that stuff's I could eat that
Yeah.
all day, man. Like I could sit here and watch that like a Netflix
Yeah.
show, bro. Like it's just so inspiring. And I recommend anybody, man, if you want to learn anything, just watch, study the
Yeah.
game. You know what I mean? Find someone you like or a sound you like. That's why I said earlier, like download the beat and just copy the beat, try to remake it yourself, just learn that
Yeah.
way. And it goes a long way,
Yeah.
man, for sure.
Do you ever think I mean, um I just lost my train of thought. Do you ever like add like acapellas or anything like overtop your beats, just kind of see like, okay, like how
Oh yeah,
yeah.
for sure. For sure, I've done, yeah. I found someone did a mashup of Over My Dead Body and Away From Home from For All the
Yeah.
Dogs. And it's like it was like the same. It sounded so good. And I was like, man, I should start. I mean, you'll get copyrighted, of course,
Yeah.
but just to do it, put a song over there. Like, yeah. So it does work and it sounds cool. But you just mute it and just take the beat. But yeah, it does. It's like playing pretend when you were a
Oh
kid or
yeah.
something. Yeah, I got a song with Drake, yeah, or a song with The Weeknd.
That's
It
a way
works,
to just
but
keep
yeah,
motivated and to just you know, stay grinding, honestly. Just to kind of
yeah,
imagine like
for
your
sure.
own beats, your own music being placed, by this rapper or whoever your favorite artist is, whoever the beat sounds like it could fit, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, man. Shoot, brother. I think we got enough for today, bro. I appreciate you coming on, man. I'm gonna call it right here, bro. Um, yeah, bro.
No
I
problem,
appreciate you
man. It
coming on
was
and
fun.
spitting.
I could talk music all day,
Yeah, bro. I
man.
appreciate
And if you ever want me to do another one, I got you, bro.
for
I
sure,
can,
bro.
yeah.
I'm gonna have you on here, frequently, as much as you can. Just picking it up on you for
Bet.
sure. So, man, I appreciate it though, man. I'll
Yeah, no
if
problem,
y'all want
man.
to follow him, follow his IG, follow him on YouTube, man. He's got a bunch of beats. If you want to go listen, man, and yeah, brother, that's it, man. I appreciate you coming on and talking, bro.
Awesome, bro. Appreciate it too, and thank you.
Once again, man, thank you for Jay Patterns for coming on the show today and talking about his background, his creative process when making music, the rap industry, all sorts of things, man. I greatly appreciate it. If you guys like the video, make sure to follow him on his Instagram as well as subscribe to his YouTube channel for more beats and more content. If you guys like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.